welcome. In today's video, we are going to give you a preview into our research in how to use AI in the service business. My name is Aniek Berry, and I'm here together with my colleague Hilbrand Rustema. Last year, we conducted a research as part of our Service Business Forum community into the same topic. And then we identified already more than 100 possible use cases on how AI can be used in the service business. For example, AI can be used to improve service delivery models and make your service delivery team much more efficient and effective. It can also be used to improve service sales and marketing practices. Think about using an AI to already identify what potential needs of your customers might be. And this can help to improve the quality of the conversation that your service sales team has with your customers. It can also help to improve the overall predictability of the service business. If you use an AI to better forecast your sales, you will also be in a better place to forecast what capacity do you need to serve your customers and ensure that you always have the right skills in place to meet customer needs. And last but not least, it can help to proactively identify new services. So identify gaps in your customers' needs where you don't have any service that can fulfill those needs. And this will help to make you as a company a much more valuable partner to your customers. Another conclusion was that we identified what are the benefits of AI for customers, but also for employees and for the company itself. Because AI cannot only help to reduce cost or improve revenues, it should also be beneficial to add more value to your customers, but also to the experience that your employees have with your company. And one of the most important conclusions was that companies should not just start with using AI. A compelling strategy needs to be in place to implement AI and to make sure that all the objectives that were set initially are being met. If you're interested in the report, please visit our website servicebusinessforum.com to download the executive summary of last year's research. Today, as I mentioned, I'm here with my colleague Hilbrand Rustema. And Hilbrand, are we today at the top of the hype about AI?
Perhaps. You can say that. But I think we're still learning more every day. One of the important things is that the benefits, I think, for companies are very clear. Everybody's very excited about it. But the good news is that the end customers of these service organizations, there's also a lot of things that will improve for them, like obviously new types of services, better service levels. On the other hand, I think that for employees, there's also a lot of benefits. One of the most talked about, obviously, is that employees can do more complex tasks without having learned all the content. They can be assisted by AI, and that means a lot also for employees because if you can let's say acquire the skills or the knowledge for a certain role faster, that also means that they can progress quicker through different roles, and therefore that could be an important career booster. So I think we see a lot of let's say benefits for all the different stakeholders. But I have to ask you also, because you have been working with several companies on these strategies. Like what is it that you see there? Like how important is it for these companies?
Well, I think it's very important to have a clear strategy to implement AI, but what's even more important is that there are some prerequisites, I think, that organizations need to have in place. And since last year, since that hype started with especially with ChatGPT, I think that was really the boost of this complete AI hype. Every company started to talk about AI. However, before they could do anything with it, they needed to have like a high digitalization in their service processes. Because one specific example, use case of AI in service is, of course, knowledge management. AI can really help to be an engine to develop knowledge articles and so on faster. But for an AI to do that, a lot of data is required. And if we look at the service process where an engineer needs to travel to the customer, do their work, make a report about it, etc., if they have not digitized that process, then there's no data for the AI basically to use to develop more content for the knowledge base. So that's one prerequisite. And some companies are still not there, that the full process is fully digitized. So that's clearly one prerequisite that needs to be in place, where not all of our customers are yet in that level of maturity. And the other thing is that AI can also be frightening, because you mentioned a lot of benefits are there for the employees, but they need to be recognized. And perhaps now, if you talk about all these use cases, making teams more effective, then it might even feel for employees that the AI will take over their job, but that's not the case. So a lot of focus also needs to be on how to manage this change of AI. So I think it's very important for our customers that they don't think too light about just implementing AI, but there needs to be a clear strategy behind it. And I see a lot of our customers now working on that angle. So everybody wants to do something with it, but they start to now make a clear path on how to implement AI in the future. So that's definitely something going on in the market. If we think now about the research conducted last year, and we just started a new research, will we really go one level deeper in this research that we are now setting up?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're trying to do, to go, let's say, beyond the general discussions. What we have done is, so far we have identified what we call the high priority use cases.
Yeah.
That is where all of the companies involved in the.
And what are those high priority use cases?
So,
what are they focused on?
The definition of high priority is that there's a very convincing business case.
Yeah.
So for all the stakeholders, so there's benefit for all, and not only the company, but it's good for end customers and employees. I mean, there's just too many right now to mention. We're looking at somewhere 25 so far. We hope to get that down to maybe top 5. But then what we have done with a team of IT architects is we have identified what are the functional requirements, like the technical requirements for those use cases.
Yeah.
And then with those technical, mainly functional, some non-functional requirements, we have documented those, and we are now in the process of going around the different solution providers and making like an inventory of what they are now able to offer. The more they can offer out of the box, the better.
Yeah.
But what have they managed to implement so far? And at the same time, we're doing many interviews with companies that have relevant experience, either in pilot projects or already global rollouts. And we're trying to capture from them, to learn from them, what are, let's say, the best practices on implementing it. Yeah, because there's a lot more than just the technology. The technology is almost the easy part. Yeah. But to make it a little bit more practical, we go to that next level of depth.
Yeah.
And what we are then going to do on the 6th and 7th of June in the next Service Business Forum in Munich is we're going to have, I would estimate, 20 or 30 senior executives from all kinds of service organizations. I don't know, I guess they'll represent a couple of billion of service revenue, and to discuss those to discuss those use cases and see if, let's say, those lessons learned resonate, and try to come to a conclusion on, okay, what are those the most important use cases, and are there any best practices already that we can say that people can use to implement those?
So we're really going to lay down a journey on how to practically implement AI using examples from the industry there.
Yeah, and as usual, the business forum is always a lot of interactive discussion.
Yeah.
So it's not just presentation, but it's an exchange of experience and an exchange of, let's say, best practices, and then we hope to come to a conclusion.
Very good.
As we usually do.
Yeah, I think that's really something that the market is looking at, to have some practical examples and to obtain how should we move forward with AI. So we are really looking forward to the Service Business Forum on the 6th and 7th of June in Munich. And if you didn't already participate in our research, you can still do that in our online survey. And in return, you will also receive, of course, a copy of the report.
Exactly.
Hope to see you soon.
And don't forget to register servicebusinessforum.com.